draft. We will see shortly that see event against Sky Templar Braxis from the side of HandsUp. From the side of HandsUp, as they got the map choice by the bot. It means next to ban, then they start banning a map first. Team Super Kuláks ban out Ultra Pass and Cursed Hollow.
Right, some statistics partially are in right now. I'm looking at the recent results for Division 4 and I can see Johnny Sin Buddies did go against HandsUp and they lost in a 2-1 fashion. So not really one-sided, but they did lose. So if HandsUp make it through the half finals, they might give a very good run for the money to Johnny Sin's Buddies.
Yeah, now when we take a look at which map was picked in the end, I would say it's no surprise. It's Infernal Shrines.
Oh wow, I never would have guessed that one.
It's just an old-time classic for Heroes.
Yeah, everyone's favorite.
See this map.
It's like an opener. It's a meta map.
Like, let's test out the grounds in Infernal Shrines because everyone plays this map. We're gonna see what happens. Actually, is that Poppin' Fresh subbing for HandsUp? If I see this correctly.
Is he? Oh, that would be interesting.
He plays for
yeah, Yeah, I thought we played for AFK as well.
Interesting one.
I'm not sure if we can hear the airplanes through my mic. There's some airplanes going right past my window, but we'll ignore that fact for now.
Of course, gonna give the last betting towards the winners as well and set up next one.
Okay, so what are we looking at in terms of predictions? I think I want to say I favor HandsUp ever so slightly. If I have any points left, I might put them on them. Of course, so far today I haven't been very lucky in my gambling activities. Someone's been collecting all my points in chat.
I've casted the game of Team Super Kuláks, and I have to say they looked really scary.
Oh.
Especially in the game they got their Mive, because Mive was just permaban against them throughout all of the season. And in the second game they just guarded and they made a teamfight combo, just wrecked their opponents in every single teamfight there was. By just having a cage, arrow into it, and then as well the Sonya leaping into it was just brutal in the end. Seeing people being wrecked left and right. But I'm gonna go into number one of this best of 3 series, Infernal Shrines.
Yep, HandsUp on the right side, going up against the unpronounceable team name for me, which I'm just going to call TSK, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the left side. In blue, we've got Team Super Kuláks having the choice of the first pick, as far as I remember. Yeah, getting the first pick from the bot.
First ban, yes.
Exclamation mark, bet A if you want to bet on them. If you think their Mive will get through and they will win a game with it. Or they will win something with anything else. And to the right side, we got HandsUp. Exclamation mark, bet B enough points you want to bet on them. But I'm not sure if it's looking so good for them because first comfort hero for them has already been banned out. It's the Junkrat. And we talked about it before on the Infernal game, the Infernal draft. We don't expect anything too crazy. But this is HandsUp. This is Infernal Shrines. This is Squeaky. This is a Diva map. This is a Diva map. Will we see the Diva from Squeaky?
I'm kind of rooting for it. You know, Diva, you don't see that too often. But of course, my namesake is playing on the blue side of the map. It's a guy/girl called Shadow. And I also kind of want to bet some points on Shadow. Oh, we'll see. If he picks Sonya again, I might just have to bet on his team. Now, Ana being banned, so no crazy nano boost shenanigans. No Li Ming's wiping an entire team.
I mean, I can understand that you usually don't want to have Liming on Infernal Shrines because you have a tough time fighting around the objective. Because of the minions are in the way, you know, and they eat those little skill shots up and you cannot really hit any heroes. But you can also try to play around it a little bit. But yeah, anyways, we have the first pick from the side of Team Super Kuláks picking up the Tesla, hands up with their second ban, targeting the offlane a little bit with the Xul, reducing the voice clear hero, moving him, and getting the first pick onto Cassia. By the way, for the guys wondering in chat, !GIF does work, but I believe it's only for moderates, something like that. I have to check those in the settings.
Oh, in the meantime, I am to going English. I'm to going. Oh my god, English so hard. I am going to go on about the draft. So meta picks. Talking about meta picks, Tasta may very good combination, of course. May slowing people. Tasta without wall guarantees full storm duration. And for those of you who have ever played StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, Storm, pretty good freaking ability now. Paired up with Stukov as well for that silence. It could be very nasty. That's a lot of AoE control around the Infernal Shrines.
And now we see Durell being removed. One of the probably strongest offlaners right now in the meta. Her level 1 got nerfed a little bit. The Dauntless, which was 50 physical combo, which was just giga broken. If you think about it, you just can dive under forts and towers and you just don't care. But now with those recent changes, I believe it's still very strong versatile Talon, but I also believe that there were two choices on level 1 are very strong and can be picked in the correct situations. But yeah, on the other side we see the target ban.
The Sonya.
To Sonya, which is a very strong hero on this map, just because of the wall and on the point gives you some additional clear and also some additional sustain in team fight, which is very strong.
More like a disgusting amount of self-sustain. Sonya already gets a lot of self-healing, and when you put like 20 or so minions around her, well, it's not 20, I'm over exaggerating, but you get the idea. Anyways, Janna picked up in along with the Sylvanas. Now Janna obviously really standard, can't say anything new about it, but Sylvanas getting that Punisher coupled together with Sylvanas is almost like having two objectives. It's like having a Punisher on Cursed Hollow almost, kinda ish. It's really good. You get the idea. Lorik, Hanzo, what do you think about that, Samu?
Oh, I really like it because on the one side you have Hanzo who can set up good engages with the arrow, follow it up with an Entomb, Sukov Silence, main engage, whatsoever. A lot of different possibilities. Like I just remember arrow into Apoc, extremely strong combo, being played a lot. And there's also the Lorik with this wave clears he has. It's just amazing. But we have a fun thing coming in.
It's a really small, cute fish guy.
Is picked up by the side of HandsUp, and all the Murky haters, close Twitch, please leave. I don't care. Murky is a good hero if you know how to play him. I don't like it too much into Lorik because Lorik usually is able to clear the pufferfish fast enough. It was used a lot against Blaze because Blaze is having big troubles clearing the fish of Murky. So Murky just pops the fish, clears the wave of it, gets the bribe stacks in, and has the bribe. And also after level 16, when he gets the stacks on, he gets the stacks on 4 and gets on 16 the auto attack talent. You get even more Qs in. You start to really 1v1 heroes, extreme strong heroes, where you don't think you would 1v1 them, which is really disgusting at one point.
Yeah, if there's one hero that comes to mind when you say the word skating, it is Murky. On paper, who do you favor, Samu? Is it the Sylvanas team?
It's a really hard draft. I would say it's hard to judge combo because on the one side you have HandsUp with their Murky, with the Cassia Sylvanas. Like if they get the shrines under their control, I believe they can do it if they get their macro play into their favor so far that they can win those shrines easily. But on the other side, you also have Team Super Kuláks with the Hanzo arrow into all of the setup they have. Follow-up they have onto the Hanzo arrow. They can be really scary because they can just one-shot the complete team with the amount of CC and follow-up they have onto the Hanzo arrow after a really good one. So we are jumping into this game number 1 to the left side in the blue. We got Team Super Kuláks, Triceracop on the HandsUp. Werkman on May 2 to end is playing the Stukov Shadow on Tusted last, but at least it's recalled
So
on
confused.
the lyric.
Going up against in red, we've got playing for Team HandsUp, Cesar86 on the Joanna, Mitsor on the Murky. I can't read the other names because of the chat. Blah blah blah. Really good name on Sylvanas Poppin Fresh, picking that Anduin as a healer, and Nuvario on Cassia.
Wait, it's not even Squeaky in there. They missed the Devo player. How come so?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Where's Squeaky? I want my Squeaky back. Anyways, we got the mid lane already being cleared by both teams very fast, as we see on one side the Johanna with a little bit of column of Sylvanas, and Cast on the other side we see the Maid Tatar, which have amazing wave clear together as well.
Alright, both teams rotating as so far, no big surprises. Murky laning around side Leoric against this Leoric rather. He's not going to get too much done in the early game, but of course Murky can double soak more effectively especially before new peasants kick in. Now, HandsUp looking for an early siege camp. Are they going to get away with it? They might just do so.
In the bottom, team Super Kuláks looking at this camp as well. Yeah. As you mentioned, what
Yeah,
HandsUp currently on their own siege camp done this one, so they're quite late for the bottom one and they pick it up.
Yeah, TSK getting the better end of that trade. If I were Shadow right now in the game, I'd be quite happy with the way it's going.
Now we have, as you mentioned, he is having a fishy deal by the way, so he's getting those prime seconds. Back in the top, managed to clear this one. The fish. This way, Murky is having troubles to get the wave clear if he loses his fish. Meantime, within the bottom and engage onto Shadow, it's looking quite low. Murky goes down in the top lane, but that doesn't matter too much.
Yep, Murky dying early game. It's about as important as getting an extra minion, so nothing too big level for both teams. Just looking at the talents right now, are you seeing any big surprises, Samu?
Very surprising to see the truffle fish on Murky. And one thing usually don't talk too much about Murky talents, you know? You have to stand up build with the Q quest on level 4 to get this damage in the later stages of the game. But Trufflefish is a little bit of the mix up to make sure Shurk is having a rougher time doing it up, because Neoplasm deals less damage to Trufflefish. You usually need your Q to clear the fish. This might be a big struggle for him for now on as well. It also kind of hints into the Murky going maybe Octograb. Personally think that the March of the Moloch is a way better team for the ultimate. Just makes a big slowing area. Kind of like Earthquake, for example, with a little bit more damage. But with Trufflefish, you just pop it into the bush, for example. If your opponent to run into it, pop the Pufferfish, slime him, and then Octocrab, and he's just getting a massive amount of time. Because this Pufferfish is seeing how much damage it deals, but it's already very much. Like when we look at it right now, it's already 590 damage. So it's already quite a lot.
Yeah, meanwhile, HandsUp getting some advantage around the shrine, at least for the time being. However, Tasta's Side Storm can turn this around really quickly.
And Murky going down again in top lane. Anyway,
Yeah, Walkman also in trouble. He
yeah.
manages to get away for the time being. Jana might not know she does, but both of the tanks on the respective teams very low. However, Leoric has joined the fight. It's a 5v4 right now. HandsUp only need 10 more Guardians, but I don't think they can stand around this objective long enough to get them.
Murky now coming in as well. Looking for a 5v5 fight. Leoric taking a lot of damage, and Cass is able to secure the kill onto him, and the red team also gets this Punisher. Also, chat mentioning level 1 talent of Cassia, we see the Thunderstrokes increasing the damage of Lightning Fury by 15, making Dings, increasing its damage even further. The more heroes you hit with it. Q quest says Dings, so it's superior. Dings. Alright. But one thing which has come in, a lot of people say yes, Charge Flag was for the longest time the better talent by far. But right now with those recent, wait, we've got in the meantime punish jump onto the Tazada, getting the good engage onto him and the team. Red team following up on it, getting the kill onto Tazada.
Yep, a hefty advantage for HandsUp right now. They're 2 kills ahead in a whole level. And of course, anytime you can get ahead in the early game despite having a Murky is a great time that you haven't. Now another siege camp going to go over, this time to HandsUp, as last time I believe it got stolen by TSK.
Yes, it did. But yeah, just to come back towards this one discussion about the cast, I believe it's kind of versatile. Both talents are very strong and I would count them equal strength. You just have to make sure when you go for the auto attack one, you would usually take martial law on level 16 so you get the percentage damage in with your auto attacks. If you go for the Q, you want to have the E, so you have 4 Q stacks in total, and also shoot some Qs at people when you E people, even though you usually don't want to Q E people. Yeah, we got level 10s in now for the red team already.
Yep.
We see level lead for them. Very impressive by them. We see the shield coming in already, light bomb as well, and so is Volkan. Hands in a lot of trouble. He's on the run. He's getting out. Nope. He's getting Octograb. There we go. I called it. We also have Wailing Arrow coming in. It was the teammate I did not shout in this team fight. I also got used.
All 5 ultimates got used, but it did result in a HandsUp kill, so as long as no fight happens in the next 30 seconds or so, it would work out for HandsUp. Now, of course, TSK about to get their own heroics in. Ice Wolf remain, no surprises. There's Avalanche still banned. No changes since last game. Archon for Tasta, again, no big surprises. Failing Swipe from Stukov. I personally tend to prefer the shove, but it's a personal choice. And team, of course, on Leoric. It's been a while since we've seen March and Dragon Arrow from Hanzo, so no shenanigans on the blue side of the board.
Did you see the moment earlier today where Zip just came in from the flank from Johnson's butt buddies, Hodo, with the massive shove and just pushed Vala into the towers and got the kill? That was amazing. But he died for it with his life, so it might not have been 100% worth. But yeah. Green Dot Hanzo, by the way, opting into the W build with simple geometry and never outmatched on 1 and 7, but still going for the Q on level 4 to get the which procs on the Shrine minions. There we have Octograb coming in, a lot of damage on the Lyric, and goodbye. That's the thing I said. Like with this level 4 talent, kind of tell your opponent already want to go Octograb. It's just such a strong tool to just try and one-shot targets. Especially for a zone that is really annoying. I mean, on the side of Lyric, you can kind of counterplay it a little bit with the Wraithwalk, walking out of it. But you're always in danger just getting Octograb in a very unfortunate moment.
Yep, HandsUp got a really nice push, uncontested on top, got a few structures, and they got an early start around the objective. Now they're 13 already, so chances that TSK won't look for a fight here. They'll look to soak and just catch up in experience. But I don't think they have too much time available to them. Already 30 Guardians for HandsUp being picked up.
I think level 13 now coming in for them, of course. One level lead still is there. We also see War Traveler for the castle. The one thing you see a lot of people differ. Some people prefer the clothes of Anarchy, which gives you 1 attack range and an additional 1 attack range when you have all those 30 armor, which makes it stay a bit safer, but you're not as mobile as with the War Traveler.
Yep, again, personal choice. The Punisher goes over the wall just as it dies, so that fort on middle probably gone. TSK can't really position safely to protect it anymore, and we see Sylvana's passive coming into play. I forgot what it's called, but disabling that
Black
fort.
arrows.
Yeah, Black Arrows. Really giving the Punisher maximum value. Might even get some damage onto the keep. Well,
getting
of course.
Bit damage onto the keep wall. I would have preferred to not see the Black Arrows that early for the keep, for the fort, because you usually want to keep it up and then disable the front wall of the keep.
Right.
But it might have been that they decided to know that they won't go further than the fort, because the next Punisher is either top or bottom. So they have to go for the top and go for the fountain, as they did right now. Might have an advantage when the next one is on the top. We see Iceball coming in for the Hannah. There's Darrington getting popped. Murky goes down, but it's just a Murky.
Yep, no big problem. The fish is sacrificial at this point, as they say. Actually, I don't think anyone ever says that, but we'll just
The fish
ignore
got
that
eaten.
fact. Yeah, I
But
guess.
anyway, looking at quest talents so far, we don't see too big of progress on most quests, as we have HandsUp with only 14 out of 20 on simple geometry.
Oh, and Doom whiffed there.
To misses the bell, because Katia with this bonus movement is good for more traveler being able to dodge it easier. Tatsuya so far only on 70 stacks of static charge, 14 hero hits. Cassia on 18 stacks on the low 1 talent. But there's also one thing, sometimes it's worse in this talent compared to charge strikes, because you have to stack it up, so you have a slower start into the game. It might stack up later into the game and give you more value there. You have a tougher earlier game.
Any level 16 coming closer for both teams, but significantly further ahead in the timeline for HandsUp, as they've been maintaining control of the game, 4 kills against 0. They're locking in those level 16 talents, and it looks like it's a solid W build for Mando, and I don't see that too often.
Often you see the active on level 16, which resets your Q. It gets reduced with enemy heroes you hit with your W, so with this level 13 talent, which reduces your W cooldown, it is getting reset more often, so you get it out more. So it sounds not too bad, but this also procs more often due to the level 13, so it makes sense a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we see another lane Octograb from Murky onto Lyric as he's dropping very low. Murky on the run and he gets him. And this is one of the most satisfying things as Murky you can do. It's just solo kill the opponent with the Octograb. Coming back to her Castle talents, we see that she picked up Power Strike on level 16. So Lightning Field pierces, but only splits on heroes. Which makes it a little bit worse for clearing stuff like the front wall. You usually throw it against one tower and it just splits onto everything else. But it also makes your opponent heroes being marked for 15 seconds as soon as you hit them with your Q. As soon as they have 3 marks, they're getting they're casting a blinding light on top of them, so they're getting deal bonus damage on them. I don't see that talent too often, so I'm going to be very interested into how it works out for Novaril.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
We're also gonna see 6 now hitting in for Team Super Kuláks, so they kind of want to look for a fight now before opponents get a too big lead on the shrine. Murky already looking dangerously at the handle there in the back.
Yeah, he's buying time for his team, and I really like this positioning from HandsUp. With Murky distracting the enemies, they've managed to rack up 16 Shrine Guardian kills already, and Cassia is not stopping anytime soon. Workman in a bit of a trouble, goes down to half HP. The D goes through, so he survives. And really a nice little setup by a HandsUp wall. The silence is there to follow up. No, and Doom is the light bomb also coming just in the nick of time. For the time being, no one has died just quite yet. Workman might fall down. Yeah, May goes down as the first casualty of the fight, traded for a Murky. So again, good trade for HandsUp there, and there's still 10 Shrine Guardians ahead when the dust settles.
Murky having his egg up in the top, he is back already, and talking about back already, Lyric will be back soon as he goes down as well.
Yep, and I expect this is going to be a Punisher again for HandsUp. This time looking up at keepers, I believe Sylvanas Black Arrows should be off cooldown. Murky chasing 1v3. Not really working out for him. No big surprise there either.
But it's Murky.
Again,
Murky,
it's Murky, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter too
Murky.
much. Yes, you die, but you respawn. You don't really give too many experience onto your opponent. So yeah.
Exactly. Murky so far the only one who's ever died on HandsUp side of the game. Very great performance, very careful plays from HandsUp, calculated and well executed. The Frozen Punisher, the best one they could have possibly got. Paired with the Sylvanas, that should secure this keep. Do we have Black Arrows? Yes, we do. Blah blah blah, saving them for just the right time. Punisher jumping, but the keep is still disabled. Bless Shield comes out. Zukov is out of position. Perfect Valkyrie teamed up with a light bomb. That might secure the kill at Tylendis. He gets away. 80 HP is enough. Wailing Arrow not enough to confirm the kill, but the keep is still down.
Deep goes down. Punisher also gets taken out. No one dies on either side. Yeah, we see level 20 is not being hit by Hands Up, and we see the big fish coming in now. Big Tuna Kahuna. Rookie getting double the health. But also the respawn time is double, but it doesn't matter too much.
Nope, still pretty short as far as death timers in late game go. Shorter than Lyric, that's for sure, even if you get full value from your passive. Is this a bait on bottom siege camp? No, never mind. Guess it was just a timing thing that ends up we're looking for.
Meantime, we see the blue team trying to get as much soak as they possibly can, but Tablet is getting engaged by and Flash Shield, Light Bomb there. Tablet getting dragged in after using his Archon, and he goes down in the end. Massive shove. Phelan coming out, trying to deceive by Sukhov, but he looks like he's getting most of them out of any danger, except for Taster, who is already dead.
Yep, and with Taster dead, Archon used. Hands Up should have an easy time dominating the map. Murky already on bottom, keeping pressure on that lane, forcing a overreaction from the enemies, which leaves Hands Up to take that cruiser camp on top lane uncontested. And now, of course, that will have to be answered because it's going directly to the core. And at this point,
cruiser camp doesn't do too much to the core. The core will just defend it.
Oh yeah, well I guess it will.
Well, you could ignore it.
Unless the catapults stack behind us, there's two catapults coming up. We'll see. For the time being, it is ignored. Nope, never mind. Lyric is there to deal with it. It shouldn't take him too much time. But that means there's an opportunity for some damage to be dealt to the middle keep. And of course, the next Punisher is on mid lane. So any chunk of damage you get on that middle keep as Hands Up, you are glad to take it.
You see, by the way, on level 16 for the Murky, the fishy oil, so he's casting a slime where his pufferfish lands. To make sure when he drops it and octograbs someone, he's getting slimed, so he gets the bonus damage from his level 4 talent.
Okay, level 20 coming up. TSK to even the playing field. Archon is back up as well, so if we get to see Twilight Archon, which I expect we will, Endless Archon, it is a possibility. We've seen it turn around games before. Murky dies, so good start for TSK here after level 20. Twilight Archon indeed locked in. No play of the game for Hanzo, it's Bullseye instead. I actually like it.
I agree on that. Usually Bullseye is the standard talent. Play of the game usually is a talent you pick when you need the global pressure, when you need to counter soak a little bit, get back into the game or something like that.
Oh yeah, soaking for that level 30. The very famous god tier talents.
Yeah, but that's generally depending stuff like catapults, so it is a very
yeah, of course, especially if you're behind quite a few structures.
Now zoning off the Johanna, you know, able to go in, but we see the complete engage on the Sugar, which is eating 3 ults, 4 ults. Only Octograb is left, and this one goes onto the Hanzo in the backline. Hanzo goes down. Archon is popped, but there is no saving for Tesla. He goes down. Workman on the run, but can run fast enough. No, there's a little fish pooping at him in the meantime, and he goes down. That's 4 for nothing in favor for Hands Up, and they are looking at the core.
And I have a feeling they might just get it. Lyric can't really do too much. Of course, he has buried alive, but it's still on cooldown, 15 seconds and done. Think he'll be able to use it before the core goes down. The shields are already down. Ultimates are coming back on the side of Hands Up, so they're really safe. I don't think they're feeling threatened. Massive wave on top as well with 2 or 3 catapults in a camp, and the core goes boom. And I lose 100 points as well.
Core goes boom as everyone on the side of Team Super Kuláks. It's on 20 seconds still left to respawn. Yeah.
So, the underdogs of the series, I guess. Hands Up from what we talked about, showing a really dominating game.
I would say Kuláks are the underdogs.
Are they? Cause you expressed some...
Yeah, I said that Kuláks are looking scary when they get what they want. Right. But I think Hands Up was first in Division 4. If I remember correctly.
I better double check my stats. Alright, so Hands Up, Division 4. Yeah, they did What am I saying? Yeah, hands up, wrecked that Division 4 coming up at the first spot. So no underdogs. Absolutely dominating and not surprising either.
But as far as I remember, Team Super Kuláks was second with the same map score, even.
Oh, what? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's about as close as I guess. 8 wins, 17 map wins, and map score of 10. So it doesn't get much closer than that. So I expect we might see a turnaround in the second game, huh?
Could be, but we will see. We are having... Let's have a short look onto one of the players. As we still waiting for Team Super Kuláks deciding if they want to go map pick or first pick.
What would you do if you're in that kind of a situation, Sabu? If I lose a game, I would tend to always get map pick.
It always depends on how you lose the game. I felt like Team Super Kuláks just got out-soaked by the Murky, so I believe for them going into map choice, just picking a map where this does not happen like this, where they just play the standard 5v5, is fitting them way better. And they
have done so. Yeah, they do so. They pick Battlefield of Eternity. Chile map, not too many opportunities for Murky shenanigans or Vikings or Abathur for that matter.
You can go Abathur, but don't know.
Whoa, yeah, yes, it's a thing.
But yeah,
decent.
We are waiting for the lobby to be set up, and in the meantime, we can take a look at one of the players. And we saw it before. Junkrat was the first ban from the side of Team Super Kuláks against HandsUp. And we're gonna have a short look on Novariel, who played the Cassia for HandsUp in the last game. Didn't look too impressive, but that's because his favorite heroes got banned out, and on top of that is the Junkrat, who was the first ban. It's really impressive what he does on this hero, apparently, because else you would not ban it. Right? But yeah, on the second most played hero is the Tassadar, also getting in with some nice wave clear, but having a little more hero damage rather than displacement. And on the third spot, we're gonna see Falstad as in his most picked hero. All those three heroes don't really fit too well for Battlefield of Eternity, so we might gonna see something else again, something along the lines of a Cassia is definitely possible. Maybe even Reyna or Vala try to get the good immortal race in on him. Definitely possible as well.
Yep, the potential is there a bit. As always, I would expect prioritizations on heroes such as Vala, potentially Artanis, Reyna, Leeming as well. They are either going to get banned out early in the banning phase, which probably isn't going to happen as there are quite a few comfortable picks to be prioritized for those bans. So those 4 race heroes, as I so call them, should make ban phase and get picked. At least some of them will.
Right. But in the meantime, for the betters and people and point spenders, I made the give points command for everyone, so you can use it to each other now and give each other some points. And
okay, so we're just spending a few minutes while both the teams get ready for the next match. Let's see, we've covered the battlefield, we've covered some of the picks we expect. What else is there to talk about, Samu? I'm running dry.
There are a few things more to talk about. One thing, a very big thing is, it is the playoffs, the closing out towards the season, but there will be a next one. So, !sign up, !Discord will bring you towards the necessary links, heroeslaunch.gg, sign up for... can sign up alone, so you see the you will get placed into a free agency team then with 5 other people getting signed up alone, or you get put into a team with less than 5 people which is getting filled up by free agents, or you can also participate with your friends in a group of 5 up to 9 players even, if you prefer to play with them instead of trying out with new people. And this is not the only thing, because we have not only the Epic Cup. This is Division 4 and 5, as a lot of people know, but not everybody might know it. Yesterday we had the Rare Cup with Division 6 and 7. Congrats to Guacamole winning this in a big 3-0 yesterday evening. Check it out on will be uploaded to YouTube soon, hopefully. But we also have next weekend, where we are going to see the Legendary Cup starting off with the best of Division 2 and 3 facing off. And there we already have some big names along the lines of Gia and Berkholt coming in, which a lot of people may know from some higher tier tournaments. And on the Sunday, we're gonna have even more names of those caliber coming in, with teams like EP2 Frozen in the Mythic Championship, where we have people like Dino, Ultralisk, X-Ray, and teams like Pepper Milady, Disgusting, a few big names. So make sure to check those out. We're also gonna have a special guest coming up again on the Sunday for the Mythic Championship, so make sure to check this one out as well and be there. But that's not all yet, because on the week after that, on the 8th of August, we have a charity tournament run by Skylar and Fictional, where we go ahead and gather some stuff for charity. Well, it will be a fun tournament for a little entry fee. You are allowed to play for some fun games. All this will be spent to Black Lives Matters and Pride Month stuff. Anyways, we have both teams about to get ready, hopefully, so we might just jump into the game.
Yep, we are ready to head into the draft on Battlefield of Eternity. Okay, here we go. The countdown has been unleashed. The start game button has been pressed, and on to the draft we go.
We swap over. Battlefield of Eternity. Right, waiting set up again. Explanation mark bet A if you think Team Super Kuláks has what it takes to at least try to come back into the series and win this game on Battlefield of Eternity, as they might be looking good on the map where they cannot get outmarked by Murky. Or explanation mark bet B if you think HandsUp has what it takes to close out the series in a sweet fast 2-0 and advance into the grand finals against the Butt Buddies.
Okay, first banning phase already on the way. I think I'll hold off my points this time around until I see more of the two teams' drafts, because I've been losing a lot of points and somehow I still have a decent amount of them left. I kind of don't want to lose them all. You're all banned out, like we talked about earlier in the first game of the series. Very strong solo laner, so not surprised to see that taken out, as it is a 2-lane map and the solo lane becomes ever so important.
I mean, one thing on those 2-lane maps a lot of people often disregard is you need all of the silk you can get to get ahead in levels as fast as possible. There we see again, by the way, Chunkras Harke ban against Nova. Poor boy, not getting his Aussie red coming in. Alright, but it is really hard from time to time, especially on Battlefield of Eternity is one of those maps. If you play the offlane very intelligent, you get some advantages for your team, like the experience, or one of the things I love is rotating down towards the bottom lane even sometimes. You're in the top lane, when you just... Sometimes it's okay to lose a wave if you just return, get a kill in the bottom, and make your team win the bottom lane harder and get the camp even sometimes.
Okay, Maiev banned out as well, so no comfortable picks. Dasta this time taken out of the equation by TSK, which they played Dasta last game, didn't they? I believe it was Shadow who played him, yeah. Okay, so Cassia picked up by Novario.
Again.
Pretty mirror-like to the last game, but Anna Li Ming on Battlefield of Eternity. Now, that's really good.
Yeah, Anna Li Ming, a very strong combo. And by the way, in the chat, Aveda, transparent, I don't know if this is really officially able to bet on Murky. But yeah, Anna Li Ming is, of course, a very, very, very strong combo. Picking up together, giving Li Ming the nano boost, giving her the spell power and the cooldown reduction, making sure she's getting in those kills easily, getting those one-shots in, giving herself the reset and just snowball the team fight on her own. But on the other side, we now see Sylvanas and Diablo being picked up. So Sylvanas, of course, having the the silence arrow or the mind control. We're probably not gonna see it, but it's still a possibility. Shutting down Li Ming using spells, of course, very strong. Wasting a little bit of time on this nano boost. And of course Diablo as well. Very strong tank on this map especially. Because there's so many walls you can push people against and then overpower them into an immortal zone. Which is a very strong combo. This is one thing I love to do. For example on Battlefield of Eternity. I sometimes play cheeky stuff along the lines of an Alrock solo lane or ETC as a main tank. Able to just having this displacements and stuns. Push people into the immortal stuns. Really hard and really annoying for your opponent.
Yep, especially if you don't have a healer with access to cleanse. And these days, there's not that many healers that still have access to cleanse. Blizzard seem to be going on a crusade against the cleanse ability, slowly removing it out of the game. And Ana, of course, is not one of those heroes that ever had access to cleanse. So Diablo should be pretty dominant around the center of the map. Let's see what kind of response TSK have. Rexa, very strong solo laner, I like this. And an Imperius as probably as a tank on bottom.
Yeah, I mean, talking about cleanses, you also see the Emden ban from the side of Team Super Kuláks, so you can pull people out of those dangerous combos into immortal stuns, which is very helpful. But yeah, now we see Rex and Imperius, as you mentioned already. Very strong frontline. We come in there from Team Super Kuláks. Imperius, biggest weakness is solo laner, no wave clear, just play him as a main tank, easy solved. Big damage. Also, very strong setup for Ana and Li Ming. Just follow up onto it. And with the side of Rex, we also have another stun to just make sure people stand in place for longer time. So Ming has an easy time hitting her skill shots. And now we see Ori on the other side, HandsUp, responding to it with a Deckard Sonya combo.
Yep, that Sonya got banned last game by TSK. This time it made it through draft, of course, as Anduin was denied instead. So instead of Murky, we get a Sonya. I'm not surprised. I quite like Sonya on Battlefield of Eternity. Of course, HandsUp, they don't really have the best race to begin with, so it doesn't make sense for them to pick an Artanis, especially when they're going up against the Li Ming and now even Reynor.
I mean, with Reynor, you have a little bit more damage to make sure you are able to kill the Diablo and kill the Sonya in those DC chains. So you can understand the pickup also. Reynor usually played with Exterminate on this map, giving you a very strong race onto the Immortal. Makes it quite easy for you to get it. But like, often, especially in this team, you just want to have Reynor race the Immortal, while the other four are going aggressive and looking for kills.
Yeah, that's the general idea. Of course, HandsUp are going to be quite aggressive themselves with the draft they've got themselves. They'll be looking, I think, to win a fight, to wipe at least half of the enemy team before they go to race on the Immortals. We'll find out. Let's head into Battlefield of Eternity between TSK and HandsUp.
Yeah, race is always a nice thing to talk about on Battlefield of Eternity. And as you mentioned, like, HandsUp is having a weak one. It's gonna be a really tough game for them. But let's jump into the game. As we start on the right side, we've got HandsUp, we've got Poppin' Fresh on the deck up, blah 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 on Sylvanas Novariel, on the Cassia again, Caesar playing the Diablo, and last but not least, it's Mythso. This time not on the fish, this time on a little bit more scary thing, it's Eminem in Hots, it's Sonya.
The battle begins in 10
Going up against, we've got 4 Team HandsUp in the red.
Team left side, team left side now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why have you turned around the table so hard? Right, go for TSK in blue, playing Triceracop on Li Ming, Workman on Imperius, Starlendis on Diana, Shadow, which is a really good nickname, picking up the Raider, and Rickos on the Rexa.
Alright, we've already seen the bottom down here, the Imperius hovering around, looking for a cheeky spear maybe. He's being careful. We see Impaling Light on the side of Imperius, level 1. He's looking early on. Redmond did not show himself yet. Looking for it. Sylvanas does not quite get it. Light now getting counter engaged, but he's dropping quite low in experience. Redmond though gets pushed into tower range, but he's able to drop the spell shield, staying alive from Li Ming. Redmond dropping low, but he's getting out as Ana is able to hit her healing darts.
So a lot of HP being traded in the bottom lane for the time being. I think HandsUp got the slightly better end of that deal as Deckard is able to pop out quite a few potions generally for not a lot of mana. We'll see, however, Diablo getting quite low on HP again. Imperius getting the stun on him. Reyna pushes Caesar back, and I think that actually might have saved him. Diablo gets out barely with 100 HP there.
Actually saved Imperius because Diablo was about to use his overpower onto Imperius and just stun him into the front wall. He already started it. Yeah,
good interrupt there.
There's a nice interrupt there from Reyna. It's a cheeky one that I believe he did not expect it, but it saved him in the end. In the meantime, now with this advantage of dropping Diablo low and forcing him to port back, because Deckard has quite some hard time healing him up. They get the bottom siege camp.
Yeah, Deckard really already low on mana, but Imperius, he has stayed for a second too long there, and Diablo gets him in tower range. The tower confirms the kill, so first blood coming over to HandsUp.
In the meantime, we've seen a top lane, a pretty even matchup as Sonya. If she gets onto Rexo, she can deal some serious damage on him, but usually he has Misha to peel for him. We already saw Sonya before going a little bit for this top camp, so she might try to go back to it. Yeah, there we go. She tries to go on it, doing a little bit of damage. In the meantime, we see both teams already starting on to their bruiser camp, so it pushes during the first objective wave, and then you usually want to have your Solana handling it during the halftime. Reyna now joining in for the top lane, so is Rexo with Misha. Now Sonya in a lot of trouble. There's the Reyna Q knocking her away, and Reyna deciding to turn around and to go for the camp instead of Sonya. Should they get the pressure in there?
Spins away, gets a bit of healing. She is just fine for the time being, but lose the camp for HandsUp being delayed to get as much value as possible out of it. The siege on top, the blue siege camp doesn't get cleared. Meanwhile, Sonya in a bit of trouble. Imperius doesn't quite manage to find a stun on her, so she survives for the time being. A lot of damage being put on the Ready Mortal, however.
Yeah, one already takes quite some serious damage. The meantime, coming in for the mortal again. He's getting quite a lot there from Imperius and Misha. The first halftime goes over towards the team in blue.
No surprise there. They do have the superior race composition, and HandsUp haven't quite been in a position to block them. Reyna right now, however, on top, dealing with that bruiser camp. So HandsUp, they can look for something if they wanted to. It is a 5v4 situation. They're opting to get some extra damage on the enemy mortal while Reyna's not there to race. Of course, they're not going to get the objective overall, but at least they got rid of half of the shields.
Getting down the shields is already good enough, but now we see Diablo in a lot of trouble. He's getting CC down. And Ming Orb hits him, but he's able to activate his spell shield early on. This way he is not getting hit too hard.
Yep, spell shield against Li Ming, especially when teamed up with an alibi, is really great in helping you stay alive. Especially once you've stacked up to 100 souls. I think that's something like, what, 75 spell armor, which is disgusting.
75, yes, it's the maximum when you have 100 souls. For every 2 souls you get one more spell armor.
Oh, nice spear from Imperius. Doesn't quite lead to follow-up crowd control. Now Imperius is pinned against the fort. The fort is attacking, minus 20 armor is enough to confirm the kill. Cassia picks it up. Second kill in the game for HandsUp as they deal with this Immortal and save their fort on the bottom lane.
Thus ends my assault on hell. I must rest for a time.
Its experience is pretty even. The red team is a little bit ahead with those 2 kills they have, but structure-wise they're a little bit behind. Diablo engaging onto Reyna. They're body blocking him, nearly getting him into the Deckard route, but he's able to get out of there.
Yep, and that might end up resulting in a camp pickup for HandsUp. Although TSK they are there to contest. Imperius finds a double stun. The Diablo overpower is good enough for the time being, but Workman is falling low. The camp has been picked up. It's providing extra DPS. The first kill goes down, so no resets for Li Ming, although Diablo was very close to dying. I think one reset would have made that brawl look very different.
Was very close to get a kill there from the side of Imperius. He got some nice spears in, but wasn't really able to proc those put those marks in. This means camp goes over towards the red team and also some more XP goes over to them. In the meantime, in the top lane we have Sonya starting to work on the siege camp. Trying to get onto Rexxar now as she leashed the siege camp after killing 1 million of them.
Well, one's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, yes. For the siege camp it's a little bit different. They want to kill all 3 and tap it as well. I hate stories about it, this might be useful. Anyways, in the meantime, in the bottom lane we have another combo from Beerus coming in, sorry, from Diablo coming in, being countered by Imperious Spear. But we already have Sylvanas rotating towards top lane early on. Starting the damage onto the Immortal.
Yeah, level 10 coming through for HandsUp. They're gonna pick their heroics and possibly look for a fight. Not quite in the level 10 rather, sorry, not quite in for them just yet. It has hit. They've locked talents. We've got rather the Berserker, so no Leap Apocalypse, no big surprise. There's the APOC we talked about. Rexxar gets hit by the Valkyrie. I think a bit of an overkill, but still confirms the kill. Meanwhile, TSK have recognized that they can't stay in the center of the map. They've picked up a Bruiser camp and they're going to soak for level 10, sacrificing the first Immortal, or the second Immortal rather, sorry.
The APOC did not only give them the kill onto the Rexxar with the combo onto him in combination with the APOC, it also gave them vision towards their opponents. So they saw that their opponents were on the Bruiser camp and had no way of interfering into the kill against Rexxar.
But are they going to lose bottom fold? No one is responding to that Bruiser camp for the time being, and I think the fourth is going to go down.
Yeah, gone.
Not bad.
It's not ideal for Team Super Kuláks, but they lost Rexxar, so I guess it's okay. By the way, level 10s in for both teams, and the only surprise I see there is the Bestial Wrath from Rexxar, but we also see easy prey on him, so it might be that he's trying to go for a race build a little bit more on his end. So in the meantime, just hitting the Misha with the Wrath on, and this is brutal.
Oh wow, nice chat from Diablo. Gets Workman once again. Imperius falls down. Stay a while and listen. Unfortunately whiffs, so no follow-up kills, but still with Imperius down, that's your front line gone. So Raynor and Ming can't really stay around the Immortal too much in order to poke it down, or I guess primarily Raynor because Ming has extra range. But that fourth coupled together with Black Arrows, the Immortal is going to chew it like it's nothing, and it's going to head for the keep. Well, now HandsUp, I don't believe they're going to push for keep. They're looking for top port, I believe.
Looks like they're looking at top 4. It's not only about the fort, it's also about Rexxar because he's stepping up again. There we go. Mana's jumping in, Sonya with the spear, and there we go. Flying Arrow also committed for it, just to make sure they get the kill. Now we're gonna see Black Arrows used to make sure they will take down this fort.
So significant advantage in both structures and kills for HandsUp so far.
With the top siege camp is about to be taken by a side of HandsUp. In the bottom side we have Team Super Kuláks looking at the siege camp there.
Okay, so if you're Team TSK right now, what do you do to get back into this game? You're not that far behind, you're just a level behind, so it's not over for you just yet, but you need to start doing the right things in order to stay in the series. I guess sulking peacefully is one way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough choice because on the one side they kind of have to do something, else their opponents will just start snowball. On the other side they kind of have to wait for 13. I think they just wait for 13 now, and then maybe look for a fight on even footage. Rexxar could have gotten punished by Diablo there.
Going instead for Mish's slight mistake there on Diablos and the things, which is going to give an opportunity for TSK to fight for the Immortal in a 5v5, hopefully 13 versus 13 situation. Imperius, that's not... Oh, that's a bit dangerous. Brave Spear. He might get punished for that indeed. The damage is there and Imperius falls down. Hyperion is popped off to discourage the enemy from confirming that kill, but it's not enough.
He even jumped in before they hit 13. I think in this moment you want to fall back, wait for 13 and then go for the engage.
Yep, a bit preemptive, perhaps Imperious feeling the pressure and thinking he had someone isolated there in that bush.
It's very hard because they know that if they lose this game, they're out. And HandsUp is going to advance into the grand finals against the Butt Buddies.
Yep, the pressure certainly is on. Another Immortal is picked up, and this time the shield is really hefty for HandsUp. Small blessings, that Bruiser camp is going to get picked up by... Oh my god, the Apocalypse is disgusting. Rexar is out of position. Imperious can't do much on that flank. Rexar already dead, and I think HandsUp are happy to take that kill and just walk out.
I mean, with this full shield punish into kill against Rex, they definitely threat the keep, at least. If they get a few kills, then they might even end the game here.
Yeah, but they do have Sylvanas. I believe Black Arrows are off cooldown, so that keep is under some serious threat. I would love to see Black Arrows saved for the actual keep and not used on the tower, and it looks like that is going to be the case. Sonya, however, sulking on bottom, which is a sign that HandsUp are not looking to confirm the whole game just yet. They're just looking for the keep, playing it safe. They got 16 now. Sonya looking to join the team, so maybe after all they are looking to pressure the core.
I felt like Team Super Kuláks would have needed to try and negate somehow this out Sonya bomb, but now it's 16 against 14. And we see Rav pop. There is the sleep from that card against Misha and Reina. Reina getting edged on by the Cassia. Taking some serious damage, but now also Diablo gets in the position for the combo, gets onto the Reina and kills him off. Mortal now dropping very low, but also the members on the side of Team Super Kuláks. Redman trying to go in with the spear, does not really connect. Has to fall back again. The core on 60% and dropping. Sonya popping Rev, just hammering on the core. 40% and dropping blah 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 on the Sonya. On the Sylvanas dropping low, going down, giving the wing the reset, make it 1, make it 2. As Cassia goes down, will it be 3? No, it won't, as the core falls right before Diablo goes down. He will stay alive with 90 health, and that's GG. As HandsUp managed to close out this series in a quick 2-0.
Very convincing fashion as well. Ends up really showing that they're a force to be reckoned with. Both because of their team coordination and because of their decisive actions. I'm kind of curious to know who is calling the shots on their side of things, because it's working out for them really well.
Looking really scary. I especially love the punishment they had into the Imperious. Imperious main tank is only good if you hit those spears and if you are able to secure the kills with it. But in the end they managed to punish him for going in and overextending a little bit often. And they did it very well, so Imperious was really the focus target for HandsUp in most of those team fights.
Yep, especially because he played so aggressively. He was often in front of his team quite a bit looking for that engagement, and he got punished for it. HandsUp doing a great job of analyzing what they were facing and punishing it. Of course, progressing to the grand finals, going up against our current named
Johnny Zin's Butt Buddies.
Hell yes. Should be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it definitely will be. I mean, on the side of the HandsUp, they can now go for a little break, and I would love them to do so.
I kind of want to get some food. I'm not gonna lie, and some water.
It's up to them. As we see those finals, I personally believe this will be a very close.
It should be. I mean, who is favorite on paper? Is it HandsUp or is it JSBB? I think it's HandsUp.
I believe it's HandsUp is the clear favorite because they 2-0'd them already throughout the season.
But then again, yesterday we saw a really surprising grand final. It was a similar situation where the team that had previously 2-0'd in the league, the other team, actually lost 3-0. So anything is possible.
It definitely is. But first of all, we are going into a short break as the team HandsUp decided to go for a little break for themselves. So we're gonna do one as well, around 50 minutes. And we hope to be back soon again with the next game. So we're gonna be right back in about 15 to 20 minutes with the grand finals of this Epic Cup from Heroes Launch
Yep.
Season 12 Europe.
Don't
Bye.
go anywhere.